If you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, because I know you do, but because you have the wrong system for change. So I've got some summary and takeaways for you, and then a final question here. Be specific and make a plan. So try habit tracking, because in the book he mentions habit tracking, and you can do that on paper, on a marker board on your refrigerator, or in an app. There's lots of habit tracking apps now that are great. And it's kind of like this other book that I read years ago that made a big impact in my life. It's called GTD, stands for Getting Things Done, written by David Allen. It's all about the art of stress-free productivity. And that is having to do with making a to-do list, not habit tracking, but a to-do list, and integrating that with your calendar. So you can start to integrate the habits you want to build into your to-do list. Set reminders too is an amazing thing on these smart devices here. And it also works with your computer as well to sync. And so your to-do list and calendar can act as a GTD assistant for you for building better habits. Another point I want you to take away is to find an accountability partner if that works for you. Because remember from some of the highlights, he was talking about in the context of relationship with other people, it's the sum total of the 5 people you spend most time with. So, what's the quality of your relationships? Are you communicating your goals, desires, and habits with the people around you? And if they're not going to support you actively, they really don't deserve a seat at your table. They haven't earned a place in your life. So find an accountability partner, someone you can confide in, trust, and will support you in mutually beneficial ways. Another takeaway for you is to curate your companions, sort of like my last point there. Curate your companions, which is intentionally selecting the people closest to you. So find an accountability partner, curate your companions in person and online too. The people you're following, the people that follow you, and the things you're scrolling in your feed, you can curate all that. You can hide things, you can block people, and that's going to go a long way to like wind in the sail at your back towards success. So I want to invite you to start considering that now if you haven't already, and if you have, please always feel free to share your tips with me or us both online. So in order to do that, you can join the Sober Squad. We got the website soberbros.com, and all links in description. There's lots of ways to get a hold of us. But before you go, there's a question that came in from someone on YouTube, a subscriber on YouTube. I asked about, are there habits in your life that are maybe bad and you want to change? This one person said, in the context of how do you stop checking your phone constantly? That's a big one in this day and age for most people, is that habitual compulsion to pull out our smartphones and just scroll social media, or not even just scrolling social media. It's just a habit. If your phone might light up if it's on the counter, or might vibrate or make a sound, and you look over at it, it's a distraction, and it's sort of pulling you into a vibrational space. And more often than not, that's not such a good thing. So he wants me to talk about checking the phone constantly, things to do to avoid that. Well, for me personally, on my phone, I turn off notifications mostly. Text comes through, maybe some phone calls, but I have spam blockers and, badges on the app icons. I have that off. Notifications, all non-essential notifications should be turned off. I always have my sound off. There's a little bit of a vibration for when some notifications come in, but that's just a big one right there. And not when I'm working on the computer in my desk, I have the phone turned down so the screen isn't showing. So if a notification was to come through or some sort of alert, I wouldn't see it. And I have do not disturb on as well. I have a work focus turned on my phone too. So those are just some ways that, can help you to stop checking your phone. When you go to bed, turn it off. turn on airplane mode. Don't put it in the same room. I think maybe you or a lot of people have a habit of interacting with your phone while you're in bed. And that's a habit that I used to have, but I haven't done in a long time. And I think it's a big one. I know a lot of people who their habit is when they wake up, they just look at their phone. I don't really criticize them for it, but you got to wonder, is that a good habit or a bad habit? Is that habit effective at taking you down what road? To have it next to you in bed, to check it when you wake up first thing. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. The main thing is just turn off notifications, because I know a lot of people have them on, because I go out and I hear it all the time. People's ringtones, it's buzzing, it's always going off, constantly pulling your attention to it. And where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if you haven't curated your feed online or all the non-essential apps on your phone, you're going to get sucked into a rabbit hole that's nothing but distraction, and that's just going to compound over time. Speaking of distractions on phones and checking it all the time, over the last week, I have been checking my phone and pulling it out for more often than usual for a very specific reason, a very specific app, and that is the new Threads app that was released by Instagram. We have a profile there. I've been very active on it for us, engaging with a lot of accounts there. It's been amazing. I want to invite you to follow us over there. If you have an Instagram account, all you got to do is, it's really easy to do, go to your Instagram, open it up, and Threads is being heavily promoted on there. So you can find us, Sober Bros Podcast, on Threads. If you go to our profile on Instagram, it'll take you right over there. I want to invite you to follow us there. It's really cool. And to be honest with you, I've been spending a lot more time on Threads than I have on Instagram for a variety of reasons, which I'm not going to get into now. But I just want to let you know that we're very active on Threads. It honestly all day, every day at this point. We'll see how that goes, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying connecting with people. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy it. So follow us on Threads. Thanks for tuning into this episode. I hope that Atomic Habits can help you in your life to improve your life, to design your reality in a better way. It's been a very insightful read for me, and I'm happy to share it with you. There's going to be some key takeaways in the show notes on my website, thesoberbros.com. In the next episode, Daniel will be joining me, and we have a guest we're going to bring in remotely. She has got a lot of wisdom to share about overcoming addictions in her life and counseling other people too. So join the Sober Squad. Thanks for tuning in. Stay sober, stay free.